everyone, Makuto here, your favorite waste player, with another exciting Bermuda deck trial for you guys. This time I am going to do my Harmony, whatever my grade 3 is, yeah, Liddy. This deck, I like this deck, it's pretty fun. I'm running stands in it right now just because how the deck plays, you can actually run stands, so I was like, give it a shot. It's not as good as crits, obviously, but it's still fun. So I'll probably switch to crits later, but I'll do this profile for now, and then we'll change it later. So first off, for my starter, I'm running a Kari. When you've got G-Break 1 and she goes into Harmony, you can soul charge this to pick up a card off the field and then draw a card. So I'm running 2, just so I can get it off twice. It's a really nice effect. Really like it. For my grade 0s, 4 heal, of course. Gotta heal. 4 draw. Mainly because the draw in this game is really late. It's not until you get G-Break 1, so you need that extra draw just in case. 2 crit. Just because I tried to play with 8 stands, and sometimes you just kind of need that extra oomph. And I'm using the duo crit just in case if I Legion with the duo, then I can play this and I can get this skill off. And then 2 Sarah stands and 2 of the Krook stands. This one's pretty good. And if this is in Harmony, if it's boosting a character, you can pay the cost, just choose a regard in your hand, and then you can shuffle this into your deck. So it's pretty good. Puts stands back, especially since it's not a Legion deck, so it gets cards back in there, which is nice. Now for my grade 1s, playing 4 of the Kukuri, obviously. Good. Really like this Perfect Shield. If you have one of these in your waiting room or graveyard, then when you use one, you can unflip damage. So it'll help get you unflip back, which is great. Playing 1 Kura. I'm only playing 1 mainly because you don't actually need so much counterblast, but sometimes you might. There's a lot of effects, and if you don't get Kukuri out enough, then you can use this to get 2 more back just in case. But it's not important, which is why I'm only running 1. I did have 3 of the Akaris at first, but I decided just swap one of these for one of these just in case I needed that extra counterblast. Especially if I get the grade 2 skill off a lot, then I can use this to get 2 back so I can do other things like Olivia and stuff like that. My other grade 1s, I'm running 4 of the Lari. If this attacks when it's in Harmony, then it becomes a 10k attacker, but you have to be G-Break 1, of course. And then for the Shizuku, which is one of the stars of the deck, when she becomes in Harmony once per turn, you can search your top 5 for a grade 3, which is pretty good. Especially since the once per turn rule only happens when it's on the field. So once you pick it back up and put it back down, you can activate it again. So really nice. But it doesn't activate again if it's on the field and you put another character down and then it becomes in Harmony again. Only if you pick it up and put it back down. So really good. Gets those grade 3, so you can either stride or you can use for Kukuri fodder or stuff like that. But really nice. Also thins your deck a lot, so you pull those cards you really need, like triggers and stuff like that. Now for my grade 2s. He's got mixed up somehow. Okay, so I'm running 3 of the Sanyas. Oh no, I'm running 4. Okay. I was like, why am I running 3? No, I'm running 4. This is the 12Ks when you're in Harmony and when you've got G-Break 1. So, again, the deck really only works once you're grade break or G-Break 1. So, that's one of the downfalls. If your opponent is keeping you at 2 or they're staying at 2 so you can't G-Break, then you can't really do anything. But once you get there, she's a 12K. So, really good. Running 3 of Filet. I might actually swap these for one of these. Just because this skill is really good. When it comes into Harmony, you can counterblast 1 to draw a card. So very handy, gets lots of cards in your hand, especially that first time you come to G-Break. Especially if you have a couple of if you have 2 Akaris, then you can get the skill off at least twice. And then you can use other skills to bring it back up to get some more draw. So really good. And then I'm running 4 of Potpourri. When this attack hits, you can choose one of your rear guards, return to your hand, and then choose 1 card from your hand and call it to rear. So, great card to get other cards back in harmony. Maybe pull off Fili's attack again, maybe pull off Shizuku. Really nice. Also adds more columns, more attacks. So you can attack with your sides a couple times before attacking with your Vanguard. So you can take advantage of those. And especially if you have stands, you can attack with this. And then if you can stand, you can attack it again, and hopefully you can get your effect off again. So, really nice. And now, 4 grade 3s. Running 3 of Himari. Really great. Once per turn, once you attack hits the Vanguard, and it's in harmony, you can choose one of your rear guards, return to hand, and choose one in your hand and call it to rear, and it gets +5. So, just like Potpourri, except with the +5. And they both work Vanguard or rear guard, so this is a really good rear guard attacker. Especially if you're pulling a lot of these out with your grade 1, with Shizuku, I think her name is. So, nice card. And then, for, I guess, the star of the deck, or the main Vanguard, is Liddy. During your turn, this gets +5 for each of your units in harmony. And that includes yourself. So if you have a full field in harmony, that's +3k. So, or 30, something like that, yeah. +30,000, so really good. Also, when you place this on Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and soul blast 1. And you may pay the cost if you do. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Search for up to 1 card with harmony. And put in your hand and then shuffle. So it gets you harmony cards. Again, more counterblasts. So that's why I have the 1 Curry in there, so I can get some of it back. Because you have this for counterblast, and you have the other grade 2, and then of course the grade 4s. So I've had a lot of fun with this deck. The only problem is I have a hard time getting this card into my hand, which is probably why I'm going to switch it to 4. Mainly because this helps you get your cards, because you're going to need those cards to stop a lot of damage and stuff. Because you don't really clone anything like you do in the duo deck. But, and since it is just stands, then if you pick up too many cards, you don't end up with any cards tapped, then your stands don't do anything. So you kind of have to make sure you play right, so your stands actually work. But I have put the crits in, and they do come in handy sometimes. So, but all in all, fun deck. I recommend if you're playing Harmony. I know a lot of people are either running Rainbow Triggers, where they running the stands that work in this deck, and they're running 4 crit. So that's a way to do it as well. But I'm just going to run it with this for now, mainly because it's just my for fun deck, especially since I updated my Pacifica already, so I really don't have any need for these decks. I just make them for fun, I play them, stuff like that, for free play. But that's it. That's my Harmony deck. Thanks for watching, guys.